afternoon. Welcome to Community Corner. I'm Ryan Nicholas Gray. To my two friends here are...
My name is Aaron County Castle.
And I'm David DeWitt Taylor.
Today, welcome to Tune into Community Corner. Today we welcome Jonathan Sand, a new friend who works for the agency in the field of and hiring staff to work with those with challenges. This is a highly important role for those with needs depending on help in all forms. Staffing agencies members who are hired to perform various tasks with those with severe and designed to the need. Jonathan works with those providing training and helpful staff, and we're here to learn more about this work in this upcoming interview. Jonathan, welcome to the show, my friend. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Jonathan, tell us a little about your family growing up.
Well, my family growing up, they've always been really great and supportive of me. We grew up in Shelby Township, Michigan. Yep, very nice city. And we moved from there to Washington Township, just a few miles away. So I went to the public schools growing up in Shelby Township. And then for high school, I went to Warren de La Salle. And that was quite the commute of a drive, but it all went well. Growing up was very, very fond memories. So.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I'll show you many school steps.
My school steps?
Yep.
Well, after completing high school at De La Salle, I went to Macomb Community College off Hall Road at the center campus, and I went there for 2 years. And I took my basic gen ed classes there, the general schooling classes, and from there I applied to Saginaw Valley State University. So I moved to Saginaw and I finished up schooling there for 3 years with a focus in criminal justice. So most of the time I spent up in Saginaw, I really tuned in on what I was interested up there. I was on a part of a lot of different boards and advisory boards, different societies and groups up at school, and it kept me pretty busy.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to keep busy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's important because think about it.
Okay.
What is in the world?
It keeps you moving.
I in spare time, what are some of your hobbies and interests?
Hobbies and interests. Well, I've got a lot of those. On my spare time, I always like watching a Red Wings game.
There
Big
you
hockey
go.
fan. It's sad to see them at the bottom of the standings this year for their final year at the Joe, but I try to catch the games when I can. I think I've been to about 10 of them this year already, so that's good. I always try and watch those. For interest for me, I like playing disc golf.
Disc golf?
Yeah, it's like golf with frisbees. So there's a lot of different courses nearby. I think there's actually one here in Lake Orion somewhere. But I also played, I play mostly at Stony Creek Metro Park at the disc golf course there. Yeah, I play for a team and I play tournaments and leagues, and it really keeps me busy, yeah. Yep.
Well, that's because I happen to live not far behind Stony Creek Metro Park.
Really?
That sounds like a game I would like.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the bowl.
So, did you pursue higher education? Did you pursue higher education when you were growing up? Because maybe you had something important happen in your education when you were growing up.
Yeah, I mean, education's really been important to me. And going back to my family, I always knew that I was going to just go to college. It's just something, a value that was always instilled with me and my family. So I went to college and I got my bachelor's degree, and that was in criminal justice. And the minor was in sociology. So that was the degree I went. I was thinking about going to graduate school, and I still am. I just haven't yet, so.
Tell us about the many jobs you have had growing up and the job title you have now.
The job I have now?
Yep. As well as the many jobs you had growing up.
Yeah, well, growing up, it was a lot of, it's hard to say. I did work at a gas station for a while, and that kind of got me working with people, so to speak. Customers coming in, all different types of people, and being able to work with them in a customer service kind of atmosphere was very beneficial. So I had that job, and then I worked at Barnes & Noble, the bookstore, which was also sort of, working with people and customers. And then I applied for the youth specialist position for Always Care, and I worked with children who have different sorts of emotional disabilities, and I go to the home and kind of work with them on different goals that they have set out for.
Cool.
Yeah, and that all kind of led me
That's
here.
very nice.
What
That's
led you to your current job?
My current job? Well, that would be probably the youth specialist position with Always Care. I applied without really having too much experience with working with individuals who needed help with different goals. So that kind of was a way for me to get my feet wet. It's more like social work than criminal justice, but it's very rewarding, and that's kind of what I saw when I started working with the children. So it really kind of put me on this trajectory to work and change lives. And then at the time when Always Care was looking for someone for placement, they asked me, and I took the job there. And now I'm responsible for putting people in homes to help anyone who needs any help.
It's a very good thing you're doing.
Thank you.
So, Jonathan, do you have someone who's experienced that has a developmental disability, mental illness, or other challenges? Because sometimes we have this thing, a walk a mile every year, and people with mental illness are always coming up there talking about mental illness. It's a very important, disability in the world. So, do you have someone in your life that you saw? Maybe you had someone with disability or something, mental illness. So, tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. My cousin, she has Down syndrome.
Oh.
Growing up, since I was a small child, every family event and everything,
I know.
we'd always be spending time, and she's just a great, beautiful person, and it's just very impactful. Sometimes people can be standoffish, and it makes me really wonder why, but I guess that would be a special person who was special to me. Absolutely.
Okay, after you hire new staff, how do you keep in touch with them?
Well, it's kind of changing with the times. I mean, a lot of people have cell phones, so email, text message, phone calls, those are all tools that we use to keep open communication. Aside from paperwork, checking the logs, seeing what's being done on a shift, how people are working towards goals, any updates with caseworkers on goals being completed or the progress that's being made. All of those are important parts of communication. So my communication with the staff is a lot of over the phone, sometimes in person. We'll meet as well as often as possible, just to make sure everybody's on the same page and we're providing the right care that people need.
Cool.
That's important. Caring of you is very important.
Absolutely.
Very good.
That's it. That is good.
Do you interview possible staff workers and why?
Yeah, I do. When a new staff comes in, there's a little bit of a process that they go through.
Okay.
In Richmond, we just developed a recruiting center, and it's a training center. It's called Full Circle Training and Development. And at this location is kind of the basis for having staff begin their career with us. So they'll usually apply and go there first to get any trainings that they need, CPR, first aid, bloodborne pathogens, all of the different trainings that are required.
Okay.
And there's also events held there. It's really great building that's got a lot going on if you ever have a chance to check it out. But that would be the first process, and then when they get to us, generally I'll interview with them. We'll kind of discuss what kind of places in their area that they'd be comfortable to going, different kind of homes and things like that. So yeah, we do have an interview process, and I enjoy being a part of that because then you can really meet someone and get to know them and see if it'll be a good fit.
Very, very interesting. Whenever time I see somebody who interview someone, it's very important to have a positive interview because you never know, the person could be different.
Right.
So how do you guys interview people? So what are some things that you do when you have to interview staff? You probably tell them you have to do this and that.
Yeah.
So what is your policy on that?
Well, a lot of different things I do, and it could differ between different placement coordinators, but I really like to get a read for the person, see how they react to questions, their tone of voice, how they compose themselves, if they're going to present a positive image for a company, if they're going to be able to perform tasks that would be asked of them.
Okay.
So just getting to know them, kind of trying to read the person and see if they'd be a good fit, I guess would be probably the most important part of my interview with them.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's someone like me, for example, who wanted to find someone, who was looking for someone.
Right.
What would be some good interviewing strategies I should use when I interview someone? Maybe give me a couple of those. I can at least help me when I interview people tomorrow.
Okay. Well, a few good questions might be, well, perhaps maybe their interests.
Okay.
This will be someone who not only are you working on goals with,
Okay.
but you're also going to form a relationship with over time.
All right.
You want to have a very good working relationship, maybe common interests, aside from goals, things that they like to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I'd say that
Jonathan.
that's an important
Thank
thing.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Aaron?
Yeah. How do you advertise for possible workers? Like, how do you get the business out there?
Well, there's a few different ways. With the Full Circle Development Center, Training Center, we have recruiters who will typically go out to different areas and interview people. We use different websites as well to try and get the word out there. Every now and then, I might drop off a few flyers on a campus or go and speak with people, or even being on an interview show on ONTV. That's a great way to get the word out there.
Thank
And,
you, Jonathan.
yeah,
Thank you.
and if people are looking for jobs, you know, there's a process that they go through, and that's sort of the way that we work things. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
There's a few different outlets, I guess.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Sounds good. Doesn't sound great?
Yeah, it does.
Are you needed to check with staff and the client on a regular basis? If so, why?
Yeah, I'd say it is a requirement for me, but at the same time, it's something that's just very important to have that communication and to be able to check up and see how things are going. Like I said before, working on goals is the most important part of it, to see growth and to see change and to be able to promote independence. So keeping up with clients and workers, and just even if it's a 2-minute conversation on the phone, just to see if things are checking out, if everything's working out great, because if it's not, you want to make an adjustment. That way everybody's benefited. So
Thank you, Jonathan. Now, are you about checking in staff report, especially when submitting the pay stubs? Because sometimes there's people who do not get their. So when you look at the pay sheets and you look at it, you say, okay, the hours they work this particular hour. So how do you feel about that when someone submits the pay sheets and they get them a little bit too late?
yeah, well, paperwork's a big thing.
It is?
So it's important for them to have their documentation filled out.
Okay.
We typically have a timesheet and a service log, and it's important for the times to reflect on both of those.
Okay.
That way we can bill the appropriate time worked.
Okay.
So it's important to read through and make sure that what they're saying on the notes will reflect the full time of the shift, and so on. So a lot of the things, you know, it's important to catch and see if there's any sort of changes. But yeah, I'd say keeping up on paperwork is an important thing for the staff and for us.
Thank you.
But what paperwork do you do?
Do I do?
Yeah.
Well, I do a lot of mine on the computer. I have different spreadsheets that I have where I may have a list of clients, I may have a list of staff, phone numbers, addresses, so things like that I always try and keep up to date. Also, new referrals coming in from caseworkers. That's always important. That way I can look and see what city they are, maybe if I have a staff in that city, and make a match. I have a timesheet too, so that's something that's required of me. I track my mileage. So there's a few different papers that I fill out as well.
Okay.
But a lot of it's also checking on my staff's paperwork and making sure they're doing an accurate job as well.
Okay.
All right.
What are your office hours?
Our office hours? Our office hours are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for both of our offices in New Baltimore.
Are you needed on the weekends? If so, if there is an emergency.
Yeah, I have a work phone that I always have on me, and my staff, my consumers, they have my work number. So I keep that phone on me all the time. For the office, they're open Monday to Friday, but I always have my phone on me, so I try and respond as quick as possible if I ever have a message or a phone call. And if it is an emergency, I will definitely make myself available. So I have in the past. Yep.
Well, Jonathan, do you work out in the field doing what? What do you do out in the field working with all these people?
Well, for this position that I have right now, the placement coordinator, I do work out in the field, and those are typically meetings that I have.
Okay.
So I will meet with the caseworkers, the consumers, I'll present to staff, and we'll see if it's a good fit. I'd say that that's the majority of my field work right now. Could be meetings with caseworkers about changes in plans, or going down to different buildings or companies to just kind of show face or promote our company. But with the youth specialist job, that was all in-home residential help, so that one was a lot more field work.
All right. Aaron, have a question?
Yes. Do you need to keep up studies in this field?
Keep up studies in this field?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that that's very important. You know, with a job that's full-time like this, sometimes it's tough to necessarily take classes and keep up to date on things like that. If I had the time, I would definitely do that. If I didn't have to take out another loan for student loans, I would love to go back to school and maybe get a degree in social work and different other fields to learn more. But going to different sort of lectures or even meetings with different people, I think that that's a good way to stay on your toes and learn new policies, learn new procedures, trainings, things like that. So yeah, I'd say that's pretty important.
Do you meet with others in your agency to coordinate services and goals?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that has sort of been evolving over the past few months within our agency, is to have these regular meetings where our administration will all meet. We'll go over different forms of policy and procedure for the company, anything that changes. That way everybody's on the same page and we're all following the same format within the company.
That's good.
Yeah,
Jonathan, two more questions, and then I'll be done with you.
sure.
Does our agency interested in other agencies in the same field, providing staff for those in need? Because maybe there's like CLS and MORC.
Mm-hmm.
Do you buy staff in those agencies? If people say someone comes in and says, I need a staff person, would you be able to provide them with someone?
Yeah, absolutely. And it all depends on who the company has contracts with, which is a little over my head, but
Okay.
I've been made known for my company. They've told me who they have contracts with, obviously. So I'd say the big one that we work with is Oakland CLS.
Okay,
So we
there you
provide
go.
staff for them.
Nice.
We're working on Easter seals as well.
There you
We
go.
provide staff for them,
That's
and
good.
MORC. Yeah.
All right.
Yep, MORC too. So
Nice.
those are the three that we have right now. We've had contracts before with, I believe, Wayne County, but I don't think that that's
Okay.
current. So,
David?
yeah.
There's a time that I'm
What do
looking for
you
someone.
see in your future ahead of you?
And my future ahead of me, that's the lifelong question right there.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah. Hopefully,
It is the big one.
it is the big one. I honestly, I don't know what I see, but I see myself being happy. I've always been a very goal-oriented person, so I see myself being successful in what I work towards.
Yeah.
I'd love to go back to school and learn more. I'd love to learn more languages, so that's something that I'd like to work towards.
Jonathan, do you have a success story to share with us today?
A success story to
Yeah,
share.
it's a positive one.
Other than being on ONTV?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say in 2008 I started playing disc golf.
Disc golf,
And
really?
it was a really big moment for me when I got a sponsorship. So that was pretty cool. I'd say that that's a pretty great success story.
I'm gonna look at that sport. I wanna get in.
Yeah, hey, it's great if you ever want to go sometime.
Yeah.
Yep, there's a lot of courses nearby.
David,
so.
would you please close?
Mr. Gray, we are so happy to have you, Jonathan, as our guest today.
Thanks for
And
having
to
me.
feel comfortable
Jonathan.
that there are folks such as you working daily to make sure that folks with mental, emotional, and developmental challenges have the help that they need to pursue their dreams. My name is David Tito, and you're watching ONTV, UNTV, Public Access, and YouTube channel. My two face all.
Hi, my name is Alan Castro. You've been watching on TV, CNN, and YouTube.
And I'm going to you guys have a great night, everybody. Remember, support agencies like this one. It's important. See you guys. Bye.